From Joan Rivers getting a taste of her own medicine, to Bobby Lee roasting a host till he leaves.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me.
Here are 8 times comedians made interviewers walk off set, starting with Donell Rawlings, who couldn't handle getting destroyed by a small-time comedian.
It's too late. It's too late. I'm about to leave right now because...
No, you're not. Come on, Donell.
No, I'm going to leave.
Holy shit, this is really happening. All right, let's get right into it. By a show of hands, guys, how many of you got your ass eaten?
It all started when Donell rudely interrupted Tony right off the bat.
Bunch of people signed up for the show tonight. We have a couple surprises for you, and also...
Heather, can I get my drink by chance? Heather? I'm sorry, was I rude?
But as Donell kept doing it, Tony and his co-host were forced to call him out.
You know your time is up. You know your 60 seconds uninterrupted.
Why are you making eye contact with me?
For those of you that don't know, Donell famously, while being one of the funniest and the best guests in the show's history, he's also the most interruptive.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the middle of a thing. You're ordering drinks from Heather.
And he has the most knocks of his microphone to the table.
And that wouldn't be the last of Donell's obnoxiousness.
I love it, but you made it all the way here to Austin. Did you fly?
Fly, yeah.
Why you asking the black man if he fly?
I don't know. Could have taken an Underground Railroad or something like that? Donell didn't hear that one. I got away with that one.
But when Donell tried taking shots at a contestant, the guy quickly set him straight.
Get this fat Krispy Kreme donut.
Let's go.
Get the out of here with them corny joke. Go back to Iowa, nigga.
Don't get the out of here. Where'd you get those Jordans before or after Chappelle gave you that chain? That's too funny. You guys are laughing, right? Don't let him tell you what's funny.
That I eat
little loud.
And Donell quickly made it clear that he couldn't handle the heat.
It's too late. It's too late. I'm about to leave right now because...
No, you're not. Come on, Donell.
No, I'm going to leave.
Holy shit, this is really happening. All right, let's get right into it. By a show of hands, guys, how many of you got your ass eaten?
But when Joe Rogan confronted Donell 2 years later, he tried to spin the narrative until Tony gave him a public dressing down.
Did you edit the show to make it look like Donell was upset and that a man clowned him and he walked off the stage?
A black man. Did you edit it? First off,
nothing
Tony
was edited.
Tony, you fucking full of shit.
Nothing was edited? So, Tony, what you see is actually the true events that took place?
No.
100%.
And this time, Tony made sure to bury Donell 6 feet deep.
We have pictures of him outside of a firehouse after the moment. He was saying hi to people at the fire department. They were like fans of his. And he went and hung out with them. He had nothing to do. He had nowhere to go. He walked off the show.
Lord.
This is getting worse.
I can't believe
I can't believe you left out details only to use them as a weapon when confronted by propaganda. Kudos to you, sir, for holding your cards.
No. But Donell is not the only Kill Tony guest who couldn't handle being on blast, because Ric Flair also had a dramatic exit on another episode.
I can have fun. I will never make fun of time of people that donate their personal time to making children better.
Ric Flair, everybody. The legend, the nature boy.
It all started with Kill Tony's usual routine of contestants bombing and getting roasted for it.
Yeah. Who cared?
Illegal immigrants.
Was it your boring set?
If you watch the show, yeah. I know reputation.
I know it wasn't you because whoever did it could kill.
Hey.
Let's go. He's got a dead man. What a dumbass, dude. My aunt's alive, dude. My aunt rules. I love my aunt.
But instead of joining in the fun, Rick got busy on his phone instead.
Did he fall asleep?
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
No, he's on his phone. He's on his phone.
Okay. He's like fun Joe Biden.
Teasers these days on their phone. Am I right, guys?
Shut up, Daniel. You're not part of this thing.
And it soon became clear that Rick didn't really understand the format of the show.
The minute someone says something disrespectful to me or to you, I'm out of here.
I probably should have sent you an episode to watch before we make fun of people.
Thank you, Ric Flair. You really saved me there.
I don't make fun of people.
You don't have to.
I'm ready to leave in 1 minute, guys.
No, don't leave.
I love you. I am.
Don't leave, Rick. No, don't.
But when a contestant with a wrestling background came, that's when the camel's back officially snapped.
I'm a wrestling coach for a high school in Dallas, and I do jiu-jitsu as well. So
my son was a great amateur wrestler. He died of a heroin overdose.
Oh,
I can have fun. I will never make fun of time of people that donate their personal time to making children better.
Ric Flair, everybody.
Just like Ric Flair, someone else who had a low tolerance for disrespect was Joan Rivers, who stormed out of a CNN interview.
I make people laugh for 50 years. I am put on earth to make people laugh. My book is funny. I wear fur that was 15 years ago. I work for animal rights. Stop it with, and you do this, and you're mean, and you're that. You are not the one to interview a person who does humor. Sorry.
Are we serious?
But when Joan came on David Letterman's Tonight Show a few days later, she was still boiling with anger.
The woman was interviewing you. What was the woman's name?
I don't know.
Yeah. And you felt that she was being...
very judgmental, very nasty, very opinionated. Negative. It was like my wedding night, you know? It was like just...
And when Joan made fun of veteran actress June Allison, she got instant karma.
Remember June Allison? Hi, I'm June Allison. While I'm talking to you, I'm taking a dump. I mean, it was one of the great commercials.
But instead of getting down, Joan took the reins of the show instead.
I'll just take over. I'll talk to me. How's your sex life, you old bitch? Thank you for asking. My vagina is so dry. How dry is your vagina? I took a bath and all the water went whoosh.
Another veteran female comedian who wasn't going to let insults slide is Lily Tomlin, who got a vulgar gift from Chad Everett during an interview.
Oh, well, you do that so well. You heard that we don't serve lunch here, and you brought
No, do you know what I have here?
No, I can't imagine.
A pair of panties with big, heavy straps for your friend.
Oh, you rogue.
On top of that, Chad also threw indirect jabs at Lily's income.
It's something that I have going on there called, sponsored by the other guys who also feed dogs. Yeah.
Oh, I hope you'll be very tactful.
I was trying to be, yes. You know, I signed the thing. Did you sign the thing?
There are no rivalries in this world.
I never sign anything. Never sign anything. How do you get paid?
I do it for free.
Oh.
But when Chad crossed all boundaries of misogyny, Lily didn't let it slide.
So what are your own animals? My first native piece. I have 3 horses and 3 dogs, and a wife.
You want to think about the billing order there?
No. She's the most beautiful animal I own.
You own?
Wow.
I have to leave.
But while Lily left instantly, Bill Burr stayed around to dunk on interviewers looking for viral headlines.
Tell us about your reaction to Luigi Mangione. I was reading up, that perhaps you've been supportive of what he did. What is your take on that?
If you were reading up, I don't think you read up on it. Because I said what I felt about it, and I said what a lot of people said.
Some people took it that way. So could you clarify what you think?
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that.
And even if the interviewers got in his face, Bill kept his cool and jokingly avoided their questions.
What are you going to bring up next? The Middle East? I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
I was just going to bring it down.
What do you think about global warming?
You said about Elon that he was ruining Earth, I saw on The View. You're critical of him. What do you think of all the boycotts, like even the violence?
I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I have no idea what's going on.
But when the interviewer made a stupid claim, Bill clowned him on his own channel.
Comedians are on top of current events.
No. That's weak. That's you guys passing the buck. You guys need to have balls again, which you don't. You guys always goes, should we be thinking this? Duh. You guys present stuff like that. You guys used to have. You need to get your ball back. And it's not my job. I am a dancing clown.
And just like Bill's interviewers, this next one regretted interviewing Tim Dillon when he came out guns blazing on his CNN interview.
The news got a little dumber and comedians got a little smarter.
Tell me what you think about that. Like, why is this happening?
I think it's just a lot more interesting to people, especially people who grew up online or are younger people, seem to gravitate towards that kind of media more than the kind of fake, stilted corporate speak of the kind of the traditional legacy media.
And things only got worse when the interviewer kept asking nonsensical questions.
I'm sure you're aware of the, like, where's the liberal Joe Rogan, like that whole conversation.
Yes, that is a question they're asking.
That is a question they're asking. So, I mean, I was interested in that. I like did a lot of research, but I think that's maybe not the most interesting question. Joe Rogan has changed comedy.
I think Joe Rogan has changed media.
Can you explain how that works?
But if that wasn't enough, she also started making completely wild claims.
One comedian who was like kind of in that world, you know,
Yes.
Fox, etc. That I tried to interview, his manager told me that he wouldn't do an interview with me because Rogan would get mad at him for talking to CNN. And
That's untrue. That's completely insane.
Okay.
That's completely insane. Okay. That is completely nuts.
To avoid giving CNN viral clips, Tim dismantled the claim in the most polite way possible.
There's no such thing as Rogan would be mad at someone for talking. That's crazy.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Okay.
No.
Good. I'll let him know.
You think that's how it works? Rogan sends emails. I know you don't.
I would.
But that's a crazy thing. Like Rogan's like, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing this? No, do Gutfeld instead. No one cares.
Roasts that Tim couldn't say on the interview were completed by the comment section instead. She talks about Rogan like he's the Wizard of Oz or something. It's hilarious. Back on his podcast, Tim finally shared his 2 cents on the interviewer.
But really, this woman just didn't know a lot of things. And she had made assumptions based on not having the information. She read a few articles about podcasts and then did this interview. She doesn't understand a lot of the topics that she's talking about.
And while he held back a lot during the CNN interview, he was on roast mode when he was a guest on Whitney Cummings' podcast.
I don't have the white man thing of I'm just like, who wouldn't want to hear me talk for 3 hours about anything? Like, I'm not allowed to be boring. I have to be twice as good to get half as much respect.
Okay. Is that a line from like a country song?
You guys can definitely...
Working 9 to 5, nobody listening because I'm a woman. Is that true?
But when Whitney still kept crying wolf, Tim gave her a reality check.
People want to listen to women talk for 3 hours a week.
Is it always their fault? Is it always the people's fault? Then, now that we've established that, we have to assign blame.
Yeah.
And we have to go, well, what? Well, who is at fault for this?
Toxic masculinity. Let's blame that.
Is it that?
It works.
Well,
No.
but then there's half the country's women. That's your own internal thing.
It might be my insecurity.
It's your internal thing.
When Whitney tried to fight back, Tim exposed her pretentious nature.
There's always going to be this unspoken thing between old Hollywood and young Hollywood. And that's what's happening here.
And I'm old Hollywood.
Yeah, you're a legend.
By the way,
classic.
you're not any Hollywood. You're young
I'm
internet.
young Hollywood.
You've never been Hollywood.
But that is Hollywood.
No,
now.
it's young internet.
No, but that is
Hollywood
now.
still exists.
No, no one
Yes,
cares about your friends like Sandra Bullock. No one cares about them.
But when Whitney just couldn't stop, Tim hit her exactly where it hurt.
I don't want to perform for cars. I can just be funny for an hour or 2 hours a week.
Well, your fan base
on
doesn't
the
have cars.
internet. Man, I'm sorry my fan base isn't my other celebrity friends. I apologize. I apologize. Jennifer Aniston and Sandra. Who are these people? It's over. It's over, ladies.
And just like Tim, another comedian who called out the interviewer's big ego was Andrew Schultz on Bill Maher's podcast.
I'll give you 2 options. Either you're kidding or this is stupid.
Well, that's this pretentious. But that is, if you don't agree with me, you're dumb, is why Trump is elected.
It all started when Andrew called out Bill's narcissism halfway through the podcast.
And believe me, they know that in Israel, and I appreciate that, and I wish I could come and visit them as they keep asking me. But there's somebody who the Trump administration just is now.
That's the reason.
That's the reason.
I was waiting for
that is the reason.
I was waiting for there's a war happening actively, and you're simply just I'm not traveling.
No. And during their debates, Bill kept getting more and more personal.
These fucking hypocrites would even survive for a weekend. You wouldn't want to live.
I don't know if that's true anymore. Like the UAE, I've been to Abu Dhabi.
The UAE is not the Muslim world. If you're talking about
But they're in the Middle East. That's what you're talking about.
Okay, but you would not want to live even in a moderate country like Jordan. And your wife certainly wouldn't enjoy living there.
But Andrew didn't even need much to dismantle Bill's entire point.
If I throw a dart at a map of the entire, all 60 Muslim majority countries, will you say you'll live there?
I could survive in every single one of them.
You couldn't.
How no?
What?
How could I not? I'm not a gay guy. Like, I'm not, I could live with any single one of them.
And when Bill lost the debate, he tried to win with his fake moral high ground instead.
You could live with yourself knowing that that's how women are treated in your world.
I hate this moral argument. Like, we give a f about women around the world. Like, no, but this is like.
Yeah, you said you'd be happy.
This is such a bullshit argument. I could live easily in every single one of the countries outside of the wars that are existing. But you're saying in peacetime?
Easily?
Easily.
But when Bill resorted to petty insults, Andrew took him to the cleaners for good.
I'll give you two options. Either you're kidding or this is stupid.
Well, that's this pretentious. That is, if you don't agree with me, you're dumb, is why Trump is elected. And this is what Democrats do.
Yeah, but sometimes dumb is dumb.
Yeah, but people are dumb. So deal with that shit.
While Bill was just verbally foul, this next interviewer took things to the next level when he couldn't handle Mark Summers' roast.
I was just wondering who told you that, because
my wife tells me that often.
She says, "Good morning."
I'm still married, as a matter of fact.
Yes, well, you.
It all started when Mark was talking to Jay Leno about his TV show, when co-host Bert Reynolds got offended.
Now, do you like doing the messy stuff especially? Is that... No, it's very strange because I'm Felix Unger. I'm a neatness fanatic. Right, so it's just kind of weird that I've been, for the last 9 years, doing that kind of TV. Have, an
Who told you were a neatness freak? I just say that because your back is to me, and I was just talking to a back.
No, I can talk to you too, Bert.
Thank you.
But when Mark's joke hit a nerve, Bert had an instant crash out.
No, I was just wondering who told you that, because
my wife tells me that often.
She says, "Good morning."
I'm still married, as a matter of fact.
Yes, well, you.
And while Mark tried to let it slide, Bert kept crushing Mark's olive branch.
This is what's known as losing control of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
Not really. He's not a neatness freak anymore.
Bert Reynolds just threw water on me. Did you notice that, folks?
And you'll treasure it later.
Don't touch me.
So.
I used to be on your show all the time. Win, lose, or draw. I used to love that show.
It's funny, I don't remember.
But now that peace was off the table, Mark swiftly took his revenge.
There we go. He's doing his Milton Berle impression. Take a look at that. Anyway, too obscure for the room. Anyway,
it's too hip for the room. I bet that plays good on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. At least I have a full-time job, though. That's the thing.
True.
And if that wasn't enough, Mark also called him out 3 decades later.
Bert happened to be on the show that night. He was out of his mind. And
Wait, stop you there. What do you mean by out of his mind?
You know, he just seemed edgy. He was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
His career was kind of on the downward direction. I took water and I threw it on him.
Yeah.
What you didn't see at home was the audience gave me a standing ovation when I did that.
While Mark still went relatively easy on Bert, Bobby Lee roasted George Janko till he literally left.
There are certain.
He is clocked out.
Yeah, I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me.
It all started when Bobby came to the Impulsive podcast and started firing at George right from the get-go.
Bro, they just looked at you and assumed you dealt with it.
Bro, let me just say, I'm warning you right now. Don't touch me.
Okay.
I'm a celebrity.
Some girls hate sucking dick too. Like they don't like or anybody who likes sucking dick. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, well, that's nothing. That's a piece of information.
No, I think that doesn't mean
that's a piece of fucking information.
Whoa, hold on.
You shouldn't have fucking said this now.
First of all, you ruined the flow of everything, dude.
And Bobby didn't stop getting personal there.
You're strong. You're funny. You got all the. You have everything.
Cool friends.
So you have cool friends like this guy.
What about him?
No. He's on the fence. This guy's on the fence. Wait. Although you're not a stand-up comedian, because that's who I usually do podcasts with, all 3 of you, even you, man, right, have a playfulness like a professional comedian.
But even as George was monologuing, Bobby made it clear he wasn't a big fan.
And I don't mean this in a cocky way, but like, dude, this put me on a very strong map. And it made a lot of my avenues blow up. So I'm very blessed, but I didn't know I was going to be here. So
it's like that's... You done? It was just a long monologue.
He was just waiting.
Let me just say something. I loved what you were saying. It was just very long.
And when George tried to take a swing, Bobby shut him down in one jab.
Yeah, we just need writers to edit that down. Like if we had a staff of writers, they'd be like, yeah, we'll cut that. But
I'm sorry.
Essentially, it was a really good monologue.
Usually when I do my comedy, I don't have writers in the room. I actually write my own stuff.
Maybe you should get a writer.
But while Bobby was just doing his usual banter, it proved to be too much for George.
There are certain...
He is clocked out.
I know.
George has been under a tremendous amount of abuse. No, stop, George. I want you over here with me. I swear to God, Bobby Lee, you fucking pissed off my co-host. He's probably crying in the driveway.
You know, the Beatles could have lost Ringo.
Proving that if you piss off a comedian enough, they can send you running back home.